Hey, beautiful. Welcome to week 3 of the Emerge Victorious program. I know that you're experiencing some shifting already, and this week is really about diving deep and separating out what you have been taught to be true from what you truly believe. This is harnessing the energy of choice and empowerment on an entirely different level, a level that would not have been available to you as a child. Because as children, we are taught what to believe, what is true, what is acceptable, all of those things by the influencers in our life. And if we don't subscribe to those ideas, there is often repercussions. There's consequences on a mental, emotional level, sometimes even on a physical level. So this is really a stretching exercise to get really close to you and discover who you are before everything that you have been taught. And the exercise in itself is fairly simple. There is a worksheet that goes along with this video so that you can run through it and you can always refer back to it. Because as we know with self-development, self-connection, it's like peeling back layers of the onion. So you're probably going to find a lot of stuff doing this exercise for the first time. And you're also going to want to come back to it at varying points in your life. So the exercise itself is, how do you know what you know? And it goes a little like this. Any thought, any belief that you find holding yourself back, we'll start with those for now. Really identify what that is, what that sentence sounds like in your head. And then we want to dive into, how do you know it? And it could be that someone told you, it could be that you read it in a book. Really, how do you know? And then we want to move on to, does that make it true? Like, does it really make it true? And from there, you get to choose whether it is something that you're going to continue believing or whether you want to make a different choice. Both of those are options. So I'll give you an example from my personal life of each. So one belief that I had was that being fat was bad. And so I really should, I use that word, want to lose weight. And how do I know? Every magazine cover on the planet tells me that it is unhealthy, it is detrimental, it is all these things. Every magazine talks about weight loss programs and how anybody can do it. Does that necessarily make it true? No. Because when I go for a physical, I'm in perfect health. I have like spot on blood pressure. All of my stuff is good. So, no. Being fat and unhealthy are not necessarily the same thing. And so I chose to click the unsubscribe button on that belief. I chose that as long as I am healthy, then I am okay. And right now, yep, that means that I'm fat. But it's no longer a bad thing. it is no different than the fact that I have hazel eyes. So you can choose to unsubscribe from any belief. And this exercise can apply to anything. So another belief that I have is that the leaves on the trees are green. And how do I know? Because every book, every person, like everybody says leaves for the most part are green. Does that make it true? I'm not entirely sure, but I am willing to continue with that story. Right? I hope that helps clarify things for you a little bit. Like I said, there is a worksheet. There is an important thing to note as we get into this exercise. Depending on what beliefs you're focusing on to begin with, how do you know can bring up a lot of emotional stuff, right? Especially when we start diving into feelings of unworthiness or unlovability, those big ones. The temptation is going to be to get back into the situation, which can then cause emotional trauma, like reliving the situation. So as you go through this exercise, as soon as you start to feel constriction in your chest, or you start getting caught up in those past movies and emotional experiences, consciously take a deep breath and bring your awareness back to your brow chakra, that center of your forehead. Because our brow chakra is the place of big picture view. So I often equate it to the helicopter ride, where you can see things, you can see the safari animals without having to trudge through the mud and the muck. So as soon as that constriction happens, or you start to feel emotional, consciously bring your awareness back to your brow chakra and take a few deep breaths. So I look forward to talking to you about what you discover within yourself, what you choose to let go of, and what you choose to keep. So until our call, I hope you're having a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.